welcome to another episode of
Mum
and Son. I am Jay, I'm the son.
and I'm Alicia and I'm the mum.
We're back again with another episode, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And today's topic of discussion.
Today's topic of discussion is going to be about failure.
Yep, it's that the F word that is not the swear word.
Yeah.
I think this is a good one that we're sort of talking about and going into.
Yeah,
we've done so many previous episodes on a lot of different things.
Yep.
Most of them, failure can be at the core of those topics.
Definitely,
or, you know, it could be a part of people's choices, decisions not to act in certain ways, or if they face rejection or this or that. We've done so many episodes on so many topics, but at the core, sometimes failure is there. So to talk about it today and go in deep is going to be so much use.
Yeah, and help with everyone.
And link into even our other stuff.
We all, at some point in our lives, feel an overwhelming sense of failure. You know, like no one escapes that feeling. And it happens across board, doesn't it? To all of us.
It does.
But what we have to think about today is helping people to overcome it, get out of it, how to recognize it for what it is and not feel as if it's going to define you, your life and your future for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? It's temporary.
It is. You know? It is. And that's a good point to even start on, is the fact that it's temporary, but sometimes our reaction from it, having happened,
can feel
sometimes
permanent.
feel permanent. Or sometimes we can make it permanent.
I've got a good one for you, Jay. It just came to me, and this is going to be one of them things that we call like a paradox. You ready?
The paradox.
What I kind of flashed in my mind just as we got going with this failure is to sort of share, like, we should see failure as a stepping stone to success. How about that?
So instead of seeing it in a totality, kind of, instead of seeing it as the end of at the end of the line, almost see it as a step towards the destination of success. And the future, and a step towards something that's going to take you in a new direction. That's huge. You know, I see it as a stepping stone to success. Why? Because through failure, we learn something new and inspiring. Not necessarily, it may be about ourselves completely, but about others as well, or about the situation that we feel we failed in. And if you can view your failure as a stepping stone towards success, then it doesn't feel totally within your heart and mind and your soul, doesn't feel totally like failure. It feels like, wow, this is a stepping stone to me turning a corner, learning something, changing something, viewing something in a different way. Hey, I can go forward with that belief and thought in my mind, rather than I failed, I'm done for, I can never get up again from this, I'm complete and utter failure, and I'm doomed and gloomed for the rest of my life. If you can see failure in a slightly different way, it can help you continue to go forward and let go, not necessarily totally forget, but realize that it is a lesson. And that's it. It's your stepping stone to the next step to go forward. I totally agree. I think the reason, I totally agree with everything that you said, and I think one of the reasons that failure can hurt so much when it happens is because we feel that sometimes for some of us it takes us to build up our courage
Yeah.
It can take us to build up everything we have to finally
Yeah.
say, do you know what? I'm ready to give it a go, whatever it is, whether it's to start a new relationship with someone, or whether it's to change a career, start a business, whether it's to go through a new phase of life in whichever way for some people, even if it's more to do with health.
Yeah.
Many types of ways.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we've plucked up the courage, or we've made a decision that I'm going to aim for success, or I'm going to aim to change my thing and do that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when we hit that initial failure, sometimes things can go well, actually, and that's it. It's like, ooh, like, it went well, great.
Yeah.
But
perfect.
if we hit a failure or a bump, or whatever you want to call it, we sometimes say, oh, this is why I didn't do it, because I knew this would happen. And the pain of maybe the expectation we had, and then the pain of that not planning out for now can overcloud us.
Definitely.
And then that pain then feels like it becomes bigger than the enthusiasm, than the courage that we once had.
Yeah.
And then we kind of choose to hold it. And even though that experience might have happened a week ago, or a day ago, or an hour ago, or a year ago, or like whatever,
a decade ago for some people.
We're still holding.
Yeah.
In this
onto
moment,
it.
we're holding onto it. So we're feeling it still.
You're
because,
feeling it.
Emotionally, we're still holding it.
Yeah.
And I think
that. So another thing is, you know, we have to let go of
a part of the thing
that
of
feeling.
Failure, seeing as a stepping stone, is to let go of the kind of
bubble
massive,
that is holding
thing.
you in.
Yeah. Because, as you said, the way you broke that down, I no longer see failure as the end of a destination I tried to reach. It's more, as you said, a stepping stone
to where you want to go.
To where you want to go. And I think that's really potent to say. I also remember someone also saying, you know, on the road to success, failure isn't the end of the road, it's just a bend in the road. You know, so that's a similar thing.
That's a nice one.
And that's the absolute truth. When you know it's not the end of the destination, but it's rather the stepping stone, or it's just the subtle bend, but you're still going to wherever you want to go. You're then able to see the bigger picture of what's happening, rather than the emotional thing of, no, this is it, whatever I wanted to do is ended here, that's it. Like the journey's cut short. It wasn't made for me, or this person wasn't for me, or blah 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 blah,
or I wasn't meant to be doing this proves my point, I failed.
And sometimes there's that feeling of we do, because we're all human, but we can take it personal. We can say, well, why did it work for that person and it hasn't worked for me? I must be wrong. I must be doing something wrong. Or life
or
has
there's something wrong with me,
or
because everything I do, I fail at.
Exactly.
Everything I touch fails.
That's exactly it.
Everything, you know, that you have the courage, you start to believe in yourself again, and you start to say, I've given it another go, and guess what? I failed again. You know, there's that kind of belief pattern. But the thing is again, if you begin to get that belief pattern, it's going to happen. You're going to keep failing. If you are beginning to buy into
the
this mindset of everything I do, I fail at, you are basically repeating the cycle. You're
setting yourself up for more
failure.
But it's hard, because the initial reaction is, well, that failed, and da-da-da-da-da, and then you start to, your perspective starts to be from that place. But you're totally right. What you're saying is, ultimately, you've now put a ceiling on yourself. Ultimately, you're now created a mindset, a point of view that is to do from the lens of failure, I failed, same old.
And unfortunately, if you don't change the lens with that view, that opinion, that thought, then it is going to define your life story, because guess what? That mindset is going to put you back into failure. You know, and you're not going to get out of it. That's why I suggested at the start, is if you can see it as a stepping stone to success, or a stepping stone to where you want to go, or where you want to take things, then again, you're taking yourself out of the mindset of failure as being a cycle, and I'm back in it, and I'm going back in it, and again, you're then saying, I'm seeing failure as a step. So you're breaking the mold within your consciousness or your mindset that is going to hold you back and define you as failure over and over and over again. That's what I think. So I think having a different view of it, changing that view in your head, is the first step to changing what's going to happen on the external. It's a bit like what we spoke the other episode, like, remember, everything that you think and feel on the inside, or the mindset you believe in, holds you back to create your reality. So, if you are going to say, I keep failing and failure now defines who I am, then it will.
And it definitely will. And I think the double-edged sword of that is, as you said, when you do start to make it define you, you also, if an opportunity does appear, you may not recognize the potential in it because of where you're at, and how you're viewing
and how you're viewing things. You're thinking, you know what, I'm not going to risk it anymore. I'm not going to take that opportunity anymore, because if I do, I'm only going to fail.
Well, and this is it sometimes.
So
it can also come back to...
You need to give yourself a chance.
And we can go back into that thing of, well, what's the point of me trying again? Or what's the point of me trying?
Yeah.
Because last time I failed, or it didn't go the way I wanted
it to. Yeah.
And maybe a part of that can also be flexibility.
Yeah, and trust and things like that. Yeah.
Flexibility and trust.
Yeah.
It's almost like, if you're pretty adamant or set on something, regardless of the stepping stones or the bends in the road to wherever you're looking to go, you have to, that vision or that thing that you see, wherever it is you want to reach or attain or achieve or whatever it is, you almost have to kind of hold on to that throughout the course of the journey.
Yeah.
Because once you lose that, and once you let go of that, it's almost as if you're going to blow in the wind.
Yeah.
And if the wind is blowing against you, you're just going to go wherever it takes you. But not only that, you're going to then replace that with, this is what happened to me, and that sort of failure negative thing. You're going to then replace that. It's almost like you have to, whichever way, some people aren't visual, they may have vision boards, some people just may mentally see it, others may write it down.
Yeah.
Some people may do voice notes and they may listen to it, but you have to have something
to remind yourself.
You going.
Yeah.
So as you said, having that faith, having that trust, that even if you're trying, and I call it like a teething period. Mm-hmm. Whenever, even when teeth come out of a baby's gums, or like whatever, they don't just shoot out. It happens, but there's that teething period of pain and a bit of resistance on the gums whilst it's piercing through. And sometimes it might go back in a bit and come back. and that's what this is. It's that teething period of breaking through the old, breaking through to something new. And sometimes you'll hit a bit of a wall. But it doesn't matter. Like, that's just the stepping stone. That's just the thing that's going to make things happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And these, you have to kind of come out of your comfort zone in order to go forward. Yeah. Like, you may think, if I come out of my comfort zone, I'm going to fail. Or if I try and do this, I'm going to fail at it.
Yeah.
You have to have courage to take... it's a bit like, I'll try, like we spoke about before.
Very much so.
Let's go forward. Let
Very
me,
much so.
And try to leave those thoughts and feelings of failure behind you. Don't put them in front of you. That you
powerful.
You feel, I'm always walking toward failure, isn't it? Because you've put failure in front of you.
Yeah,
you have to leave it behind. Let go. Leave it in the background. I'm not saying that, hey, if you had a huge failure, you can eradicate it or just forget about it. No, you learn from that failure. And that's why I said it's like a stepping stone, because you're learning from it so that you can then take the next step with a little bit more confidence, with a little bit more, you know, belief in yourself, a little bit more trust in yourself, and, you know, say, yeah, I failed at XYZ, but, you know, it doesn't define me. I can take myself forward.
Yeah.
And seeing it in a different way gives you more likelihood of success.
It does, actually. That's a powerful
You know,
thing.
it's seeing it in a new light allows new things to manifest for you in your favor rather than against you. Because, you know, if you're holding on to it, then, as we spoke about, it's going to repeat. But if you let go, you are giving yourself the power to redefine the next step.
Yeah.
And how you want to take it and what you want to do with it and how you want things to go, because you've left the failure behind you.
Yeah, I think that's a very powerful thing that you mentioned there, was the fact of sort of stop putting failure in front of you and just put it behind you.
Okay,
because then your path is clear still.
Absolutely.
Because you put it behind you, you stopped putting, because that's what we're doing most of the time.
Yeah.
We put the failure in front
of us, yeah.
And then it's hard to try and climb it, or try and go over it, or try
and get it out of the way,
or push it out of the way, depending on how you visually see it.
Yeah.
But as you said, whatever it is, however you see it, if you put it behind you, you're then free to keep going forward.
Exactly.
And that reminds me of what I heard someone else say once, a very successful person, but they said that if you're failing, fail forward.
Wow.
And the analogy reminded me of
falling forward,
when you try and go forward at something and you may trip where you fall forward.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're still going forward, even if you fall over, you're still going forward.
That's true.
You're still closer to that line or whatever destination than you were previously.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the worst type of, if we can look at failure in different ways, is the one where you stay stuck and you do nothing.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go for something again, and you may hit a bump and you fell in whatever way, at least you fell forward, so you're still going forward. But even if we take that analogy to one side, because if some people see it like that, then see it like that. For some other people, they could just see it as like, you know what, I don't even need to put this in front of me anymore. I can just put it behind me.
Yeah.
And it can be as simple as that. You know, that's how simple that it can be. Now, figuring it out will take that time and effort.
Yeah.
As in a sense of, you have to make a shift. You have to put in the effort of wanting to really make that shift and change. But it's as simple as saying, I no longer want to put this in front of me. I now choose to put it behind me.
Yeah.
And then living from that vantage point.
Living from that vantage point. Because that vantage point is a positive one.
That's an empowering positive.
Yeah, it's an empowering step to take. You know, not a disempowering one. You know, the disempowering one is to be always thinking of failure before it's even happened.
As you said, because we're putting it right in front of ourselves.
You're putting it in front of
That's
you.
what we're doing. We're not putting it behind us.
Exactly.
We're putting it in front of us.
Yeah.
So
and, you know, as I said, these things kind of pop up during, you know, whilst we talk.
Exactly.
These, you know, but yeah, it's true. We have to allow ourselves to go forward.
Yeah.
Leave, you know, as I said, you can't eradicate the effects of it overnight. But you can just say, you know what, I learnt a lesson. Failure has taught me something. Failure is a teacher as well. You know, like, you fail for a reason. And if you can reflect on the reason and you know, if you can kind of accommodate what were your failings, or what were the failings in whatever it is that you wanted to do or you wanted to achieve, or whatever, in whatever way it happened in your life, if you can reflect on it and say, it's also a teacher, isn't it? It's also taught me something, but then I can leave that behind because I've learned. I can go forward now.
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is.
With that knowledge in my heart or in my head, or you know, soulfully I have that knowledge, I can go forward, but in a new way, in a new light, in a new, you know, frame of mind that is not going to hinder and hold you back.
Yeah.
It's going to support you, to push you forward.
That's exactly it.
You know, so I think with failure, if you can, I know it can be so disheartening.
It can, because you don't know
why.
people have
Sometimes you don't even know why.
Like, you don't know about the risk people have taken.
Yeah.
And the failure. If they
if
win,
huge, or
if they win, then it's great. But if they don't and fail in some way, then that risk that they took could have been huge. It could have been financially huge. Mentally huge.
Like,
emotionally
people can
huge.
lose their homes. You know, even if you failed, you can lose your family sometimes. Sometimes you know, someone will feel, I failed. You know, even it can be anything. Like, some people may feel, I failed as a mom, or I failed as a dad, or I failed as a son or daughter, or, you know, it could be that kind of personal failure.
Yeah.
You know, not just maybe a business or financial one, or, you know, it could be a personal one as well. But in each stage, and regardless of how failure has affected you across the board, I say, if you take it as a lesson, if you take it as a stepping stone, if you take it as something that you can try to let go of to clear your way forward, then it can be overcome.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. And I was just thinking there, I mean, before I guess we summarize this up, but I was just thinking there that, you know, even if you have failed at this or that or something, it doesn't mean you're ultimately a failure.
Yeah, so
you know
not letting it define.
Yeah, it's like, say if you took a test and you failed that test.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that test that time, you know, you just didn't get it as good as you wanted to, or maybe didn't get it right. But as you said, what would you do in that instance? You'd go back, learn what you have to learn, and come back and then have success and move forward.
Overcome it, yeah.
So, you know, whether you see failing on something as being an ultimate failure, the two shouldn't be seen as the same. I personally don't see that. You can fail one day but still be a massive success.
I mean, and we know with all the people,
exactly, with a lot of the famous people we always talk
about,
entrepreneurs, people like that. So it's almost like
they all, you know, I've forgotten, was it, you know, we've seen some of them have failed like multiple. Sometimes their failings have been like, God, if I failed that amount of times, I wouldn't bother. But they did, and they went on to succeed.
Yeah, even with the Edison and the light.
That's right.
And the light bulb,
yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean that it was an overall that he was a failure, even though he failed thousands of times. You know,
he kept going.
And that's the thing. It's just tweaking everything.
Because you know why he kept going? Because he thought, this is a stepping stone. I'm getting closer to solving this problem or this issue of providing people with light or whatever. You know, he kept seeing every failure as a stepping stone. You know, because
he knew that, and that's another thing. He saw it as a stepping stone, and he also kept hold of the destination of what the outcome was going to be. Yeah,
and wasn't Tesla similar? He failed in certain things.
Tesla, I think anyone who's going to be a innovator
is going to fail.
Going to invent stuff, going to do things that require a bit of risk. There's always the chance that you could take a hit, you could fail here a bit and so on. But the ones that reach it at the end of the day are the ones who, as you said, see it as a stepping stone, see it as a learning curve, see it as a teething period, and they move forward. That is it.
It's true.
So you have
because if you sit there and you're always in your comfort zone and
you
you're
do
not,
nothing,
and you're not going to nothing.
The guaranteed way to be a failure is by doing nothing. That's what we can say.
Yeah.
You know, the guaranteed 100% way of being, because some people go, oh, but what happens if I don't Why was it I do like it and it doesn't work? Well, by not doing it, I can 100% tell you that it's definitely not going to work. So that's the guaranteed way that you will be a failure in your eyes or life.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see.
So don't be.
So do the opposite to that,
Yeah.
and you're going to have a higher chance, or probably be the success that you want to be. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. That was fantastic. Well, I hope everyone's enjoyed that and you got something out of it, and you know, it's going to help you if you feel that overwhelming sense of failure, how to overcome it, and you know, if you want to share anything, leave it in the comments below, and you know, hope you're enjoying the content, and I'll leave it up to Jay to wrap it up.
Yep, leave your comments below for anything else, and if you like this episode, give it a like. And if you want to join the family, then hit the subscribe button and be part of the family.
Yeah.
So until then, this is MumNSon, and we are done. See you on the next one. Take it easy.